Are you a working mom and you're wondering how to do it all as a working mom? Could you use some encouragement for moms? Well, if so, then stick around because that's exactly what we're going to continue diving into today. This is part 3 of my latest series here, which I'm calling Encouragement for Moms. However, this isn't your typical Encouragement for Moms video. This isn't a pep talk. In this series, we are approaching encouragement from a different angle, namely empowerment. Today, we're going to take a look at what it really means when people talk about how to do it all as a working mom. So let's get to it. So hey there and welcome back. I'm Alicia from Alicia Cohen Designs, where I teach you intentional planning and productivity. If you're new around here, would you please do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button? It means a lot to me, helps support my channel, and it's just really nice to know that I have supporters out there. So please give that subscribe button a tap, and now let's get to our topic. All right, here we are, part 3. Here's the plan for today's video. I know we've been over it in part 1 and part 2, but we're going to revisit my definition of a working mom again, just so we're all on the same page. Then we're going to talk about doing it all as a working mom. And just to bring you up to speed here, in part 1, we talked about working mom guilt and tools to help us ditch working mom guilt. Then in part 2, we talked about 2 additional important mindset shifts for us to make to feel confident in our working motherhood. So if you haven't caught parts 1 and 2 yet, I'll link them over there in the cards now. Go check them out because the videos in this series all work together. So the other parts are good to take a listen to so that you get all of the tools and information. In case you missed it last time, I wanted to tell you about a freebie that I have for you all. I'm pretty excited about it. I made it for you guys. It's a set of pretty downloadable printables with encouraging working mom quotes on them. Make sure you stay with me to the end of this video because I'll show you what the printables look like and tell you the quotes. But if you just can't wait, the link to download the printables is in the description below, so you can go check it out now if you feel so inclined. All right, now, let's get into reviewing that definition. Like I said, we covered this last time, but I want to cover it again in case you haven't watched the other parts of this series yet. I want to make sure we're all on the same page by defining what I mean when I say working mom in this video. So, a working mom is anyone who is a mom that also does some kind of additional work. Full-time, part-time, outside of the home, or at home. The work could be temporary or seasonal. A working mom could be working for someone else, or a business owner, or an entrepreneur, or a contractor, or maybe a working mom is a stay-at-home mom with a side gig, or a work-at-home mom. So pretty much, if you're a mom and you're doing some sort of additional something or other that you consider extra working beyond your usual duties of motherhood, then for the purposes of this video, you, my sweet sister, are a working mom. Okay? Okay. As for how I think of myself, I am a stay-at-home mom who does some work things. I have my business, Alicia Cohen Designs, which this YouTube channel is a part of. And I also work a tiny smidge bit of hours as a contractor for an app, but I typically do these work things when the kids are sleeping or when my husband or mother-in-law can be with the kids. So, because my priority in my life is the stay-at-home mom role, and the work things get fit in during those other times I mentioned, that's why I refer to myself as I do. So based on my own life and the knowledge I have about productivity, I'm bringing you this video series because while I might not fit the traditional definition of a working mom, I am still a mom, and I'm doing work things, and I feel that my experiential knowledge and my productivity knowledge can help all kinds of working moms, so here I am to keep sharing my insights. So now that we covered that, let's get into talking about doing it all. Now, let me be clear about something right off the bat here. When we talk about doing it all, what we're really talking about here is the illusion of doing it all. That's why I have doing it all in quotes. And there's a bunch to unpack here and get clear on to help us with this very sticky and tricky mindset area. So now let's get on to that. So again, gonna be super clear here and say it again. Doing it all is an illusion. That might be frustrating for you to hear, or you might already know that, or you might already kind of know that, and maybe it's eye-opening, or like I said, maybe it's just frustrating. How does it strike you to hear that doing it all is an illusion? Are you really hoping to somehow figure out how to do it all? I think if I were feeling like I was really trying to do it all, and then I heard someone tell me that I'm not going to be able to do it all and that that's just an illusion, I think I might feel angry or frustrated or like, well, I have to do it all because I need to be in control of everything, or I need to be able to get it all done because that's what I'm supposed to do. And honestly, I used to try to figure out how to do it all. And if someone had said that I couldn't, that wouldn't have sat well with me. I would have felt angry about that on the inside. Now, I'm not going to leave you hanging. We are going to talk about doing it all in such a way that I think you will leave this video, or at least I hope you will leave this video feeling empowered and different about how to approach this concept of doing it all. But if this is new to you, you might want to be throwing this video across the room right about now. And I can understand that. If you can not throw me across the room for the next few minutes, I will do my darndest to help you sort through this idea of doing it all in a way that, again, I hope leaves you refreshed and clear and confident on how to approach this topic. So, why is doing it all an illusion? I usually strongly dislike using any sort of cliches except when they are applicable and necessary, but doing it all is an illusion because we literally can't do it all. I know we've heard that before or seen that before, or someone has probably said it to us, or we've heard it in any number of ways and formats. And I know for me in the past, when I've heard that, I kind of took it like, challenge accepted. You say I can't do it all? Watch me. But really, like, we can't. I can't. You can't. We can't. No one can. No one can do it all. That's literally impossible. All is everything. You can't. You can't do it all. It is an illusion. There is no such thing as doing it all. It's just not real. It's a false concept, a myth, likely propagated by social media where everyone can post their Pinterest perfect lives or whatever you want to call it. So it appears to us that other people are doing it all. But let's talk about this phrase actually by breaking it down word by word. Let's start with talking about the word all. So all literally can't do everything. Like I said, it's impossible. All of what? Doing it all? What is all, right? Like doing it all. All encompasses everything. We're not going to do everything. I think you can probably hear the absurdity in that and the impossibility in that, okay? So we're not doing it all. At best, we're doing it part or something. So now, in this phrase, doing it all, let's take a look at the word it. What is the it? What do we really mean when we talk about doing it all? And also, what are we telling ourselves when we talk about doing it all? Let's get back to this Pinterest perfect notion that we have of people who are doing it all. We think, she's doing it all. Why am I not doing more? But what is the it all that she looks like she's doing? What is the more that you're dissatisfied with that you're not doing? What is it that you're not happy about for what you're not doing? Because here's the key. When we say doing it all, what we're really saying is she is doing what I wish I were doing. The it isn't really all. When we say, oh, she's doing it all. I want to do it all. How does she do it all? We don't literally mean that. What we actually mean is, oh, she's doing what I wish I were doing. She's doing what I want to be doing. I wish I could do what she was doing. I think if we stop and think about it for a second, we realize that she, whoever she is, isn't literally doing it all, but she is doing something or many somethings that we value, desire, want, whatever it is. So doing it all. What's the it? Is what we want for ourselves that we are working, being a mom, being a spouse, significant other, whatever, being a friend, being a sibling, being a volunteer, taking good care of ourselves with exercise and eating and having time for prayer or meditation or reflection and having time for going outside or reading or painting or whatever creative pursuits. What is the it? What is the it that we see? Oh, she maintains a beautiful magazine-worthy home that she posts all over social media, and I want to know, how does she work out and keep a beautiful home and work and parent her children and, right? Well, back to doing it all. Get clear on your it. What's the it? We already know that it's not literally all that we're talking about. One, because it's impossible, and two, because it's not really what we mean. But then what's the it? Get clear on that, because I think if we stop and take a look at that, well, then we have a worthy pursuit. Because then the question becomes not, how do I do it all? Or how does she do it all? That's not the question any longer. The question becomes, how do I do what I want? How do I do what I desire? How do I create my life in a way that feels amazing? That's the real question behind how do I do it all, or how does she do it all? Because when we say, how does she do it all? There's something we see in her in the way that she's doing things that we want or admire, but it's not out of our reach or unattainable or unachievable. It's just a matter of intentionality and perhaps productivity and planning and focusing on what matters most. Now, there may be the sheer volume of things that we desire for ourselves, and it's important to take a look at how that realistically works in our lives, but that's a different topic. That's the topic of intentional planning and productivity, which, hello, that's my jam and what my business and this channel are all about. So hang around me more if you want more on that. But for today, we're just looking at this myth of doing it all and unpacking that. But what I want to highlight here is that if you are now approaching doing it all with this new question of doing what lights me up, doing what feels amazing, and creating the life that I want to be living, that is the way to be approaching this. The practical application of doing this in our lives is beyond what we're talking about here in this video, but go ahead and grab my freebie in the link below, which will also get you on my email list so you can come on this journey of intentional planning and productivity with me. Okay, we'll continue with our topic in just a moment, but before we get back to it, if you haven't already, would you please hit that subscribe button? As I like to say, you subscribing is kind of like the gasoline for my channel. It keeps things running around here. So please hit that subscribe button. Please help keep this puppy running. Okay, woo, back to it. So, back to our 3 little words that we're covering here today. Doing it all. So we covered all, we covered it. Now let's get to doing. So for doing, what's important to look at here is the who. The who of the doing, because if you look at many people or look at whomever it is that you're looking at, who is doing it all? Is she doing it all? No. She may be doing things in her life that you wish you were doing in your life, but is she completely doing all of it herself? No, she's not. She is likely getting help from her spouse or partner, her kids, a babysitter or nanny, or help from family and friends, or daycare, or a meal delivery service, or a house cleaner, or a virtual assistant. There are so many ways that we can delegate and outsource, and it's actually important that we do this so that we can be focusing our time and energy and talents on the areas that we are built for, that we are created for. Did you know that there are some authors out there who don't even write their own books? They are authors, but they have ghost writers, which are people who write the book for the author. This fascinates me and is a great example of not doing it all and maybe appearing to do it all. So you just never know. So there are any number of ways to do lots of things, but not do it all yourself. And so I challenge us to think about it in our own lives, the things that we want to do. What is it that we actually want to do, and what is it that we would like to have be a part of our lives, but maybe it's not actually what we ourselves will do and what we will delegate or outsource or whatnot. But just think about that when you're looking at other people who appear to be doing and having so much, and that you want that for yourselves. It's not out of your reach, but you do have to pick and choose. And then at some point, or maybe that point is now, you get people to help you. Like if you look at really big YouTubers or bloggers or entrepreneurs out there, they have a team. They don't do it all. They do part of it, but their team handles the email or the video editing or the social media or the marketing or whatever. And so to bring it back to the regular working mom, depending on what kind of work you do as a mom, well, you go to work maybe 9 to 5 and your kids are in daycare or school, and maybe you pay for grocery delivery and you pay for a meal delivery service and a housekeeper and a dog walker and whatever. But to someone looking at you, it's like, oh my goodness, she works, her kids are taken care of. Look at that gorgeous meal she got on her table, and her house is clean, and she has a dog. How does she, quote unquote, do it all? But what's not seen is that you have a dog walker and a house cleaner and a meal delivery service and all of those things. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how it's such an illusion? It's such a myth here, this doing it all, especially when we break it down word by word. Because when we look at someone else's life and we think that she is doing it all, we're just seeing a snapshot. We don't follow her around 24/7. We don't see what she's actually doing and not doing. We don't see what's hidden. There's plenty that we're not seeing. And I bet if you were to ask her, I bet there are things that she's not doing that maybe she wishes she were doing. Or maybe she's good with exactly what she is doing, but the way that she got there is because she intentionally chose what it is that she would do and not do. What it is that she would say yes to and what it is that she would say no to. If you look at any of the big names out there, let's just say on YouTube, big YouTubers who have a big following and very successful businesses, if you look up on YouTube how to do it all or anything like that, if you kind of poke around and you watch any videos from people who have do it all in their video title, you will hear them talk about that they don't do it all. The big names say they don't do it all. They do what's important to them, and what is important to them, some of the things they do efficiently, but they don't do it all. I don't think I've come across a single person out there yet who has a video on quote unquote doing it all that actually does it all, because it's just not possible. It is literally an impossibility. But I think it's refreshing and important to hear these women, because the videos I've watched have been of women speaking, to hear these women talk about how they don't do it all. They make choices and they delegate. So, doing, what exactly is being done? Who's doing it? And what is it? In other words, what is valued? And all, there's no all. There's just not. So hopefully now I've unpacked this such that you no longer feel like throwing this video across the room. I hope I was successful in that pursuit. Do you see what I mean though? I hope you see what I mean. I hope it's not frustrating now to hear that you can't do it all. I hope it's not like I used to feel like challenge accepted. Tell me I can't do it all. Oh, I'm gonna do it all. I hope that that's not the way it lands for you now, and that you can see the absurdity in doing it all, the lie in doing it all, and that you can also see the reframe of doing what matters, and how when we say doing it all, what we're really saying is, I have things that I wish I were doing and I'm not where I want to be. And hopefully then the next step for you is, and I'd like to be there. I'd like to get there. And maybe you need some help. Maybe you need some guidance. Maybe you need a coach. That's what I'm here for. So hang around me more if you'd like, and let's do it, whatever it is, together. Let's create these lives, my life, your life, where we are doing and living in the way we want to be, focusing intentionally on what matters most. Okay. Remember, I promised you that I'd tell you about my freebie that I made for you. Well, let me show it to you now. So again, I made 3 downloadable printables for you with encouraging quotes about being a working mom. For the first one, we have this lovely floral here with a lovely quote from former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama that says, "For me, being a mother made me a better professional because coming home every night to my girls reminded me what I was working for, and being a professional made me a better mother because by pursuing my dreams, I was modeling for my girls how to pursue their dreams." For our second one, we have this great quote from comedian Tina Fey that says, "I think every working mom probably feels the same. You go through big chunks of time where you're just thinking, this is impossible. Oh, this is impossible. And then you just keep going and you sort of do the impossible." And finally, we have this sweet quote from author Jill Churchill that says, "There is no way to be a perfect mother, but a million ways to be a good one." So, if you want to have these for yourself, go click the link in the description below. They're formatted in the 8x10 size, and you can print them at home or get them printed professionally or whatever you prefer. I hope that you like them and that they inspire and encourage you in your working mom journey. As always, thanks so much for spending this time with me. That wraps up part 3 for today, which wraps up our series here. Be on the lookout for my next series, which will be coming your way very soon. And my parting encouragement, as always, if you are feeling overwhelmed today, remember that when it comes to planning and productivity, being intentional plus not giving up means that you are going to get there. Catch you next time. Take good care.